So what we're going to do now, since we've looked at the quadrant check system, is go on to solve some basic trig equations. So initially, we'll just throw up some kind of trig equation here. And what's it going to be? Let's see what we got. Solve cosine of x equals a half. Right, that's important. Okay. So what angles do we put in for x that when we take the cosine of it, yeah, that's what we're saying, it gives us an answer of a half. And we want those answers to lie between 0 and 360. So that's what we're saying here. So there's various ways we can have a look at this. So what we can do here is just go and look at the graph of cosine. That's cos x. You've seen that before. Okay, maximizes at 1, minimizes at -1, and the pattern repeats itself after 360 and before 0. Same thing. Okay, so we're looking at that there. But the equation is, where does it equal a half? That means where does it have height a half? Okay, height here is a horizontal line. So where does it have height a half? There's where it has height a half. We're trying to solve for x here. Okay, try to solve for x. So what we're interested in, where does the line y equal a half meet the curve y equals cos x? Where are the intersection points? Okay. I've highlighted them there, but we're solving for x, so I need to come down to the x-axis because there are my angles, initially anyway. So my angles here, if my graph is any good, I'm going to tell you that they're 60 and 300. Can you put them in your calculator? Can you put in cosine 60? That's it, cos 60, close the bracket, equals, do you get 0.5 or 1 over 2? Do the same with the other one, cos 300. Cos 300, close the bracket, equal, do you get 0.5 or 1/2? That means those answers are correct. Okay, but we're not going to solve it like this graphically. Okay, they're going to use another method. So hopefully we're back on track now. So cos x equals a half, and we want our answers to lie between 0 inclusive and 360. Oh, I've included 360 in this one. That's fine. That's fine. Okay. Sometimes they change that, but we'll see throughout the course how we deal with that. Right. Cos x equals a half. I'm not going to use the graphs. We went through the whole quadrant check process for a reason. Right. So cos x equals a half. I'm bringing on the quadrant check here. What I'm interested in is see a half. Is that number there? Is it positive or negative? Well, it doesn't have a little line in front of it, so it would suggest that's positive. So what we're asking here is where is cosine positive? That's what we're asking here. Where is cosine positive? Which of the quadrants is cosine positive in? Right, remember the quadrant check. Anytime we talk about positive, we always tick A, always positive, and then we go for the letter of the trig function, C. We tick that. So, where's cosine positive? Plus phi E means positive. A and C, that's fine. What's the little formulas in there that we had? x equals a, 360 minus a. Please remember that small a is a calculator answer. Okay, small a is a calculator answer. So we can't solve directly for x because there's two solutions for x. Your calculator only gives you one. Right, okay, we've ticked them. What I've done here is I've exchanged x for a because I can't solve directly for x because there's two answers for x. A is like a stunt double. Okay, so we're going to solve for cos A. Right. So to get A in its own, we need to get rid of that cos thing. So the cos thing, to get rid of that, on the other side, we just put, usually like to call it cos with a me minus 1, right, which is inverse cos. Inverse cos of a half. You grab your calculator, shift cos, it should come up like that. Put in 1 divided by 2 equals, and what do you get? Do you get 60? Good, that's what I get. Right, so I'm happy with that. That's my calculator answer. And what I've shown you there is I'm going to feed my calculator answer. That was a wee bit too quick. I'm going to feed my calculator answer into here and here. So it's going to be, one of them is going to be x equals 60, and the other one is 360 minus 60. Right, so that's what's happening next, okay? There you go. X equals a is 60, 360 minus 60. Bingo. So let's tidy it up. So that's my two answers. If you want to check if they're correct, type in cos 60, you should get half, 0.5. Put in cos 300, you should get 0.5 or a half. Good. Right, that's my first trig equation done. But you should know this stuff anyway. Right, let's go and solve this one a wee bit quicker. Tan x equals 1. Tangent, okay, we're dealing with that. 1, that's a positive number. I'm solving between 0 and 360. I'm including the end parts. Okay, let's go for it. Tan x equals 1. Let's bring on the quadrant check. So what I'm interested in here is I've got tangent. Okay, there's 1. Is it positive or negative? Well, there's not a line in front of it, so it's positive. Okay, so the question we're asking here is, where's tangent and positive? Which two? Well, you always tick A for all, and the letter in front of the trig part, it gives you a clue. T. So you're going to tick that. So A and T, there you go. Put some little formulas inside there. You should have memorised them by now. Oh, and I've just went for getting rid of X, bringing in A, the stunt double, calculator answer. But in here, I've ticked them. X equals A, 180 plus 8. So I'm going to use them. So let's go and get A. So the opposite of tan, to get A in its own small a, is that a thing called inverse tan, or tan with a wee minus 1 of the number. Put that in your calculator. It should give you a nice answer. We're working in degrees here. 45. Okay. We're going to take that answer 45 and we're going to put it in to both of them, right? In here and in here. So we're going to have x equals a is 45 and 180 plus a is 180 plus 45. That's what I've just done there. And let's tidy it up. And, oh, what's Tommy done? Let's see. Get rid of that. And that's my two answers. Right. And did I put my two answers down there? Let's see. Right, so hopefully that's for two answers there. 45 and 180 plus 45, which is indeed 225. That's my two answers, okay? And I think in the next section, I was just showing you the graph of tangent. Here we go. Some of you haven't seen the graph of tangent, so just put that in there. Tangent's a wee bit different, because it is period of wavelength 180. So that's something that we can come back to later. So the most important thing there was how we don't need to look at the graphs, but that was just letting you know what the graph looks like. In fact, I showed you earlier. So let's go for this one. Right, looks kind of similar. Where does sine x equal negative half? Sine x equals negative half, right? So let's get our quadrant check up here. Sine x is negative a half. Negative a half. So that's the question. Where is sine x negative? So that's what that means here, folks. Sorry for calling you folks all the time. That means negative. So where is it negative? Which two quadrants is it negative in? But the thing is, you know where it's positive in. You know sine is positive there and there. Oh, but we are not interested in where it's positive. We are interested in where it's negative. So it must be the other two quadrants. There and there. There you go. It is. Right. So what I've done there, I don't know if you've noticed a subtle difference here. See that negative a half? It's suddenly turned into plus a half. That's so that the quadrant, actual system of equations work. It's not going to work unless we turn it into positive a half. So there's our little equations there. 180 plus a, 360 minus a. Here, what we're trying to say is, oh, big statement here. At this point, the number is never negative. I could have made that a wee bit tighter. It's never negative. The, the negative does its job here for identifying the quadrants. Once it's done its job, get rid of it. Okay? Just get rid of it completely. We don't need to know about that. Right? So it's, like I say, as soon as you introduce A, because we're looking for the calculator answer, as soon as we introduce that, that there has to always be positive. Right. Okay. I think we've established that fact. Right. So we get the inverse sign of the calculator time, sine with a v minus 1, shift sign, half, and you should get a nice answer. What do you get? Do you get 30 degrees? I'm giving you time here, okay? I'm giving you time. Yeah, you do. Okay. So we are going to take our 30 degrees and we're going to pop it, hopefully, because we know A is 30 degrees. We'll get two equations here. X equals 180 plus it, and x equals 360 minus it. And A is 30. So let's go and fire them in. Okay, in there. 180 plus 30, 360 minus, what do you get? 210, 330. Right, that looks okay to me. So you just need to remember, when that value is negative, it's all about identifying the correct quadrants. Okay, once you've done that, get rid of the negative here. Okay, get rid of it. If you don't get rid of it, the quadrant check thing won't work. Right. Have we got time for one more? Let me think. And I'm just showing you the question was, where does sine x equal negative a half? So take the graph sine x and go for height negative half. You can think of height being depth. Okay, so that's what I've done there. Okay, so there's your graph. Oh, there's your sine curve. Feeling dizzy? Where does it intersect with a depth of negative a half at 2 points? Okay, they're highlighted there. But what you need to remember to do is come up to the x-axis. Okay, and it is 210 and 330. That's what we've got there. Put them into your calculator, put in sine 210, put in sine 330, and you should get negative a half or negative 0.5 for both of them. That means they are correct. So, I think I might leave it there. Okay, I'm just going to pause it. If not, then we'll just go into the next session. Right, as I think there is time for one more, and we're going to go through it a wee bit quicker here. Tan x equals negative 1. I can see that 0 lies between, or x lies between 0 and 360, inclusive of both. It's not always inclusive of both. Sometimes it includes 0, sometimes it doesn't, sometimes it includes 360, sometimes it doesn't. We're just going to go for it. So tan x equals negative 1. Watch out for that negative. Beware the negative. Right, let's go for it. Where is tan negative? Okay, well, tan would be positive in here and here, but we're talking about tan being negative, so it's definitely the other two. That's why I ticked S and C. Okay, that's the quadrant check stuff. Ticked them. Right, that's a little formulas. They should be impregnated in your brain. So both of them involve A, 180 minus A. Yep, 180 minus A, and you get 360 minus A. Right, so we need to go and find this A, mythical A calculator answer. So get rid of X, bring on A. Because A is the calculator answer. Get A in its own, so get rid of that tan on the other side. You put in that tan with the minus 1, which is inverse tan of 1. Okay. Take that in your calculator, you should get 45. Yeah, I went straight to there. Can you put that there? A is 45. Can you put it in there? Can you put it in there? What do you get? So 180 minus 45, 360 minus 45. What do you get? Yep, putting them in. 135 and 315. Okay, I think that's fine. And again, to check them, can you hit tan? Tan 135. Okay, and you should get the answer negative 1. Okay, and you could also hit tan 315. Put that in, tan 315, you should get negative 1. So that's just you double checking things. So this one's on for a wee bit longer because we're now, actually we've not reached the higher maths stuff. We're still in your National 5 stuff. Right, but you're supposed to know about that. So I'm just going to finish it there, okay folks? Right, and then we'll we'll start diving in with the higher math stuff. But just remember, everything boils down to this stuff here, so that's why I'm concentrating on it. And do you know what? You should concentrate on it as well. Right, so I'll see you back soon with another edition of trigonometry.